this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Klim Kalike Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you'd like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video. We're going to be talking about some lesser known things about karma that I want to share with you from the ancient scriptures. So this book is about Tripura Sundari. She is one of the most powerful goddesses, the Mahavidhas. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I just want to talk about the conversation between Indra and Brihaspati, which is Jupiter, in this book. Indra asked about karma. He wanted to know about the evil karmas. So Jupiter answers him and says, listen, O Indra, evil karmas are that which has suffering as a result of 5 kinds. Theft or misappropriating what belongs to another, himsa or causing hurt to other living creatures, drunkenness or excess of wine and offerings without offering the same in worship, killing for self-gratification and pleasure without purifying, same through offerings to the devatas, adultery and the consummation of a sexual appetite for purely sensational gratification. So this sums up a lot of the world today. So when it talks about the alcohol and the animals, so these can be done in sacrifice because the animal actually takes a higher birth when it's sacrificed, and it has to be in a very ritualistic way, done with one stroke, so the animal doesn't have pain and is just gone right away, and then it gets a higher birth. So this is why people do animal sacrifices, for that reason. In tantric practice, there are rituals that involve alcohol, but this isn't for you to get drunk with, it's to offer to the devata and then you drink it after, but that is a whole separate thing. But what we do now for having liquor and drinking just to have fun, that is considered a sin, because the sins are karma. It creates karma for yourself because now you're acting out of ignorance, and so your decision making is not going to help, but also you're destroying your body, which is going to create karmas for you. Alcohol destroys the body, ages people, many different things. People die from alcoholism all the time. When it comes to the sexual appetite, the thing that they all teach us is that you're actually supposed to be with one person and find that one person and stick with them instead of going out and having sex with a whole bunch of people, because that creates a lot of karmas within your body, creates a lot of trauma within your body as well. And now you're absorbing, having this energy exchange with multiple people, creating these karmic cords with you and all of these people that can last for life if you don't do any practices, but we'll talk about that. So if an evil karma is to be set in motion by a devata who is far wiser than the danava or man, the harmful result is multiplied 10 times. The punishment is automatically adjusted and metered out in every case according to the development of the individual and the scale of evolution. So if you know better, say you're a high level in Hinduism, say you're like a Swami or you're a guru of some type, and then you start committing these sins because you know better, you know the scriptures, then it's going to be a lot worse for you karmically than if you're just a regular person in society in ignorance. So that has to be really understood. If a sin is committed for the sake of relations, friends, or dear ones, then the punishment is reduced by 1/4, and 1/2 if it's for the protection of oneself, wife, or child. When it is done in a duty for duty's sake, there is no sin. Manis of yore have said that when in danger of losing a life, one may defend oneself against anyone or anything, even to the extent of killing the aggressor, and there will be no sin to do so. So you're allowed to defend yourself, you're allowed to defend your home, your family, that is completely fine. So that has to be understood as well, because I know for myself, I've been in these situations and I allowed the person to harm me because I didn't want to hurt them back. But that is actually very cowardless, and we have to learn to defend ourselves. So spirituality is a lot different than what is portrayed in the mainstream. that you do no harm to anybody, even if they're coming at you. No, you defend yourself, or else it's cowardly. Actions which cause trouble to wife, children, or brothers have their sinful retribution multiplied 10 times. Women who have been in abusive relationships, abusive situations, ask me all the time, will they get their karma? Yes, they will get their karma. It will happen. Or maybe they were abusive to their children as well. Yes, this is not allowed, okay? You're supposed to treat everyone, especially women, like they are your mother. And every man, you should look at them like they are your father or a family member, and treat everybody with respect. But when they are saved, the reward is multiplied by 10 times. So this is a great karma by saving women and children and your brothers. It is not sinful for a ruler to kill wild animals in a forest for the protection of his people. To purposely kill animals for one's own food or pleasure without offering it to the devatas as an animal sacrifice is not free from sin. So you can't just eat animals for pleasure. It doesn't work that way. The flesh that is offered as a sacrifice is born of Shiva, the destroyer, and therefore quite auspicious. So such offering can be used for oneself and others that occurs no sin for the sacrifice. And this is not the animal sacrifices or even the human sacrifices that we hear happening in the entertainment industry. It is not the same thing at all, or what you hear of people doing in, say, like Satanism and things like that. This is not the same thing. Also, animals that are harmful to homes, like snakes, rats, scorpions, mosquitoes, depends where you live. I'm in Canada, we don't have that, but mosquitoes, red and white ants, etc., may also be destroyed without occurring sin. So that makes sense. Or else your home would be infested, especially in the summer. Bugs love to come in the homes. Now, there's no excuse for the sin of robbing a wise man or one who has earned money through great effort, or an unfortunate and poverty-stricken individual, or one who has many children or wives, or one who is living on past earnings and not being able to earn now. And there's even greater sin if one happens to be poor. So you cannot steal from people, especially there's more karma if you start stealing from people who are less fortunate. So that is very, very bad. Now, when it comes to adultery, the sin of adultery and its explanation, Indra asked, and he said that adultery is committed with one's mother's sister, guru's wife, maternal uncle's wife, has no means of excuse. In all other cases, fasting and mantra may be resorted to with deep repentance. So only in those situations, there's nothing you can do. If you did those things, so your mother's sister would be your aunt, which is inbreeding. So if you look at what happens when somebody inbreeds, there is a karma that happens through generations, which you can't get rid of, which ends up being the health of the individual, the mental capacity of the individual, and that goes through lifetimes, through generations. Because if you have a child, it can be deformed. There's so many problems. And then if that child has a child, it's going to be deformed as well, or have many, many problems. So this is why that's a complete sin, because you ruin your entire generation by doing that, because you were in deep lust. So those are just a few things about karma that I haven't seen anyone talk about, and I think it's just really important to understand it. I'll make more videos about it to go a lot deeper into the other aspects of karma, but this is just kind of like a small introduction. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one.